I'd like to start this episode off by saying, unfortunately, we had a problem with Sam's audio. It was way too corrupted beyond repair. Sam tried their very best to do what they could to fix it, and unfortunately, it just was unusable. It happens sometimes. It's not a big deal at all. And the way Sam role plays is very, not a lot of words, but very impactful, which is why we love them so very much because of the things that they say. So thankfully, there's not a lot of awkward silence, and hopefully certain things can still be understood through connotation. It definitely sucks whenever this happens because this has happened a few times to us. But we make do, we persevere, and hopefully this episode isn't too rough to get through. And if it is, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So just thought I'd let everybody know that in case you realize there's a little bit of weird, awkward pauses, and also the absence of Sam. So Sam was there for this. Alwyn was there for this. Just unfortunate that we couldn't get their audio. So hopefully this is not a further problem. But yeah, we hope you enjoy and take care. Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to Double Advantage D&D Show, where half of us have no idea what's going on at any given moment. It is complete and utter chaos, but guess what? We love it. I am your Dungeon Master, John, and along with me, like always, are my beautiful friends, so let's go ahead and get them introduced, starting with the one and only Mr. Blazing Torchic.
Hello everybody, my name is Blazing Torchic, and in this lovely campaign, I play Malon Sakado, the Wood Elf Rogue. You can see me summoning my awesome knives, doing some cool tricks. I can teleport now, which I used to devastating effect last episode. Go check it out if you want to know how I did it. And I got a cool helmet, and a few other things that I have not used yet, but you all know because I have a very charming tongue.
This is true. Go ahead and check out all the last episodes to see how exactly that led up, because it is a doozy of a time. And one of the most interesting things that's happened in recent times. But up next, we got BryceKrispie.
What's up, everybody? BryceKrispie94 here, and I play Volstagg the Forgotten, the male half-orc druid. You can catch me wild shaping into all sorts of creatures. Got a few new ones in my book of creatures, I guess. Yeah, that's about it.
Seems about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Chat actually transformed into, I think, 2 of the new things last episode. So check that out.
I think you did. There's definitely some new developments on that end as well in terms of magical items and some new found developments. So also go check those episodes out if you want to see how that progressed. And last but certainly not least, back again, Sam. Yeah, that's true. And speaking of sad old men, boom, it's on the screen now. We officially have the art for our lovely dwarven paladin, Alwyn, once again done by the wonderful Mitch Ninja. He is incredible, and he's outdone himself on this one, I think. Truly that's impeccable art. Fantastic details. You might not be able to pick it up on the video, and so I'll maybe post it at some point. But like, there's just small streaks of gray. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. So yeah, that is now here, and it is on the screen to stay. So hell yeah. So go shout out Mitch and Ninja. Shout out the rest of the artists of the show, Renny, Texas, and Carl Uber. Without them, this would not be possible. So big ups to them. Links down below as always, and the links to these wonderful people in the call are also down below. You got Torchic's YouTube for the streaming, you got Bryce's for all things D&D related. Okay, Torchic, I know you don't stream that often, but it's there anyway. I don't stream that often either, but my Twitch is down there, so it's whatever. And Sam makes awesome music, so go check that out as well. So without further ado, I think that's it, unless somebody has something. I don't think. I don't know why this segment's really here, because I feel like we never have any like announcements, but it's just fun.
Sometimes we have announcements.
That's true.
Twice.
It's happened a couple of times, like charity streams and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I've just got nothing going on besides the normal.
Oh, I do have my channel
stuff.
anniversary coming up.
There you go.
Oh, look there. Actually, mine might be coming up too.
Oh.
Happy anniversary to everybody. Whatever you may be celebrating anniversary-wise, congratulations. Let's go!
Hey.
All right. So with that, And without further ado, oh wait, I almost forgot. The new thing that I decided I wanted to do with the annual rolling of the dice to determine how this episode's gonna go. And notoriously, I rolled a natural 1, and the city of Snowcaster got fucked up. So let's keep that in mind.
I also rolled a natural 1 when you did it, because I rolled along with you.
That is a 9. So things are really only up from here, I suppose, huh? Yeah, that's true.
We're not going to disclose the number I rolled.
So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the next episode of Double Advantage. In the last string of adventures, the last string of episodes, our intrepid adventurers, known as the Lightbreakers, decided to take some time off to analyze their current states, learn more about themselves, and just get a break from the madness that they had found themselves in the last year or so. It has been eventful, it has been hectic, it has been dangerous, and they just needed a break. Volstagg going off to do his own devices and find new things about himself, learn more about the Wild Mother, and just become at peace with himself. And Sakura staying in the city of Snowcaster with Willowjin, Avery, and all the newfound friends they had made to learn more about himself, where he got his powers, and a little bit more about the dealings of his father back in the day. And eventually, they found their way back together, Scald still dealing with the interesting things that are occurring in Ataro, but nonetheless, coming back together as the Lightbreakers, throwing a soiree which resulted in an earthquake, leveling the city and leaving Lord Baron Lotus in a current state of paralysis, to say the very least, in that regard. And in doing so, along with Awen, the dwarven paladin whomst they saved from the grasp of the slain brothers, decided to undertake a mission from Baron Lotus to go to the city or village of Losai to speak with the Ember Maiden on behalf of the Empire, and also due to the fact that Volstagg wishes to have a word with the maiden herself to learn more about his druidic prowesses. With the events lined up, they said goodbye to their friends, wished them good luck on rebuilding the city, went off in search of new information, as well as attempting to maybe stop by Taragos in an attempt to see how they fared in this route. So, in the last episode, you were all ambushed by some shambling mounds that crept up on you and your encampment in your sleep. The first event to have happened in the last week. And you have another week of travel ahead of you, as you do get your long rest from that night, so you may be able to recover all the things that you expended in that day, or that night, I should say. And the question I have is, who is leading this path forward, and are there any stops along the way? As Volstagg, your home is on the way if you wish to stop by, but you had just been there, so that is up to you. But
Volstagg doesn't have any stops that he'd like to take. I'd also kind of assumed that Volstagg was leading the way since he had just made this journey not too long ago.
Oh, did you not want to stop in Taragos, actually?
Well, I thought that was where we were heading.
Taragos is currently the destination.
We're heading to Taragos.
Yeah.
I thought we were going straight that. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
So, straight to Taragos then. Right, so Volstagg, if you could, please make a survival check to guide through the travels. I'll give you advantage since you've made this trek multiple times.
I'm gonna need that advantage. Wow, I got a 4 and a 2. So 12.
12. Okay. That's not terrible. It's not great. You do try to take it at a slower pace. The shambling mound situation, I wouldn't say has scared you, but it has made you a little bit more weary. And instead of you getting lost or anything, you decided to just take it a little bit slower. and instead of a week, it's more like 9 days, as you are just kind of trying to be perceptive and be very, you know, analytical in your movements to just make sure that you don't get attacked again. So with that, if there's any role play moments any of you would like to do during this time, it's a 9-day journey of just travel, rest. So if there's anything you'd like to do, you can let me know. Otherwise, we can move forward.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
More for Sakado. Is Quellen with us?
Yes.
Okay.
I would have taken him on this one.
Okay.
I was just curious. That was out of curiosity.
Question for you: is Scheller with you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's in his plot armor pouch.
Yeah, his plot armor pouch. It's a magical item, actually. It's legendary.
Yeah.
It is immune to all damage and has an AC of 1,000. So, with that, it is a grueling journey. It is boring. It is uneventful. It's long, but it gets the job done. This is the furthest north you have been, except for you, Volstagg, as you've been here before. And as you progress northwards, we are in the summer months, but as you go more north and more north, it does get humid. It does get hot. And as you begin to approach the coastal city of Tragos, it is sticky. It is almost tropical. It is a familiar vibe, Volstagg, that you had felt as you were just recently here. And for you, Sakado, and for you too as well, Awen, since you have the heavy metal armor, it's a lot. It's definitely not as hot as Ataro for you, Sakado, to put that in perspective. But Ataro was dry. It was arid. This is humid. It's sticky. Imagine what's gonna happen when you go to Texas. It's gonna be terrible.
You're literally just describing me right now.
Yeah.
Sticky and hot. Yeah.
So, and as you approach it's the surrounding area. There's this giant like stone wall that encapsulates the city. You can see that there are a lot of beautifully like tropical trees. Not quite palm trees, to put it into our perspective, but it's more lush here than expected. It's more beautiful. You can smell already the waft of the salty sea air that, for you, Sakado, you haven't smelt in a long time, and for you, Awen, is reminiscent of home in the Ballantine Coast, but it's been some time since you felt that essence. And as you stroll in through the city, immediately you are all met with a somewhat familiar sight. You can see that there are many buildings that have befell the earthquake. But what's different is while some buildings have been damaged, a lot remain relatively unharmed. Which is interesting because, from what you understand, Tragos is closer in proximity to the epicenter, or at least the presumed epicenter of the earthquake. But Volstagg, as you would know and had made the connection in your head previously, a lot of the buildings here are made with an infrastructure meant to withstand nature's wrath. It is a city where its architecture has a significant increase in its design to withstand such terrible things. As the winds can get progressively terrible towards the coast, earthquakes are always a possibility, hurricanes as well. But still, some buildings have fallen. But to you, most surprisingly, Volstagg, is as you begin to go closer and closer to the city, and almost instinctively, you kind of just begin to head towards the Tide Hollow Cathedral. And as the three of you approach it, it is this gigantic, almost like curling, coiling temple that is made almost as if it is made out of the texture. It looks like it's made out of seashells. It is shiny to smooth. There is, similar in the Daybreak Sanctum in Ataro, there is this beautiful stained glass window that depicts a wave curling over a symbol of, all of you would know at this point, the Wild Mother. And it is beautiful, it is fantastic, and it is standing perfectly untouched, even though it resides on a cliff face, overlooking beaches where clarity was formed. And you can see that despite being on a cliff face, probably very prone to collapse, it is untouched. So, where are you off to? What is the goal here in Taragos?
I mean, probably to the cathedral?
Go ahead and the winding upwards path as you are kind of going up the tall cliff face that it is presented on, kind of winding up, and it opens up into this beautiful courtyard where there are flowers, and there's a beautiful fountain of a thin and slender but relatively tall lady who is standing with her arms clasped against her chest, and there is a wave going over her, made of pure stone, as the water is kind of just pouring out from like the back of the wave. And you can see the beautiful Tide Hollow Cathedral in front of you. You're able to park the horse and carriages in the main. It's like a roundabout type of thing. So you can just park it there. You can push the doors open into the cathedral, and as you do, there's just almost not from anything in particular, like a bard or anything, but there's just a very light music playing through, and a wave of, no pun intended, a wave of calmness washes through you as you push through the doors. Awen, could you describe to me how you're feeling being in a place of worship on this level, once again, due to your recent history with divinity? So, Volstagg, as you lead the charge here, you can see that many of the younger acolytes and the younger children that are brought in for their worship classes look up at you with recognition, smiles on their faces as they did not expect your arrival, but some of which you shared many meals and conversations with. You were there for a festival that they had held and spent quite a bit of time with these people. Little children that are currently in the middle of prayer, their eyes are closed, they look up and they peek at you, even though the teacher is, or the priest is leading a session, but you can see that they are keeping one eye open, and they wave at you as you walk by. You have a bit of a reputation here. And Sakura, you picked it up pretty fast, that Volstagg's a little popular here in the Tide Hollow Cathedral. Which you expect, as he did spend quite a bit of time here. But it's interesting to see so many people flocking at him in this way. It's nice. It's refreshing. And eventually, you can see that a young gentleman also looks to be a sea elf, kind of walks through and is currently holding a bunch of scrolls and kind of like gently like bumps into you, Volstagg. Says, "Oh, terribly sorry. Is there? Oh, Volstagg, it's good to see you. I was not made aware that your presence was going to be shown here. Do you need me to get the Tidemaker?"
Oh, we were just stopping by. We were in Snowcaster during the events of the earthquake, and they were hit pretty hard. But we had heard the epicenter was near here, so we're making a journey more north, and I wanted to check in and make sure everybody was okay.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm sure as you saw as you walked in, the city received a fair bit of damage, but keeping the infrastructure in mind, we fared pretty well, I would say. At least not as bad as from what I've heard of Snowcaster. I'm terribly sorry to hear about that.
They're on the mend, but it is a loss.
Suspected as much. Well, the Tidemaker is in her chambers if you wish to speak with her. Just make sure to knock first. I'm not sure if she has company.
Of course.
And kind of has his arms full, but looks at the two of you, Alwyn and Sakudo, and just kind of gives a bow. My name is Vincent. If you need anything, please let me know.
Duly noted.
Goes ahead, just bows off. And so, continuing forward, you walk through, and you can see that there are these giant double doors that look, while the outside of the temple looked to have the appearance of like a seashell type of situation, these two double doors are made of a seashell conglomerate, pieces that have been patched together to make this beautiful door that kind of has like a pattern of a wave curling on it. And you knock?
Yes.
You hear a familiar voice, and to you, Alwyn and Sakudo, it is a voice very reminiscent of waves. It's very watery, it's bubbly, it's very interesting. And you just hear it gently flow through. Please, come in.
Walk in.
As you push through the doors, you could see sitting down at a desk, a pair of spectacles and this long gray hair, the pointed ears and the blue skin of another older sea elf woman. Kind of takes the glasses down, looks at the three of you and says, "Volstagg, it is good to see you. I..." Kind of looks down at a calendar. "Didn't you just leave?"
Yes, we are heading north on some business from Snowcaster, and I just wanted to stop by and make sure everything was okay. I heard the epicenter was close to here.
Yes, it was. It was a little bit more north, but it is... We are doing what we can. Not too terrible. I've heard word of Snowcaster. I'm terribly sorry of the losses you suffered. But
Yes, lots of damage, but the city has united and are rebuilding.
as it is the capital city, I'm sure that they will fare very well in terms of replenishment, so that is not a worry of mine. But yes, thankfully no casualties here. But yes, some homes were lost, buildings damaged. But with every natural disaster, there is always that chance. But I appreciate you and your friends for coming all this way. Might I ask your names?
Melon Sakudo.
Sakudo, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Tidemaker Runa Ness.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you, sir? Owen Sen. I sense you are tense, dear. It is okay. I'm not going to bite. Well, uh, as I had said, it is wonderful to see you. It is, and we're thankful for you to make your presence known here. But you just came on your own volition then.
Yes. We did hear some rumors that this might not have been a natural disaster.
Yes, I was hoping that rumor wouldn't spread too far down the rest of the Empire, but alas, as with everything, it spreads fast like fire. Yes, when I say we as if I take part, scholars are getting increasingly more curious in this matter as there was a bit of a, how do I say this? An extended duration of the quake. I'm not quite sure if the three of you felt that, but it lasted far longer than most natural disasters do. Well, scholars are growing a bit worrisome at the prospect, to say the very least.
Have scholars been able to pinpoint the exact location of the epicenter?
Yes. And I'm afraid it's not ideal. The current hypothesis is that Quivervast may be slowly reaching an eruption point.
Oh?
That is very not ideal.
I have been trying my best to commune with the Wild Mother, and little to no avail on her vague answers, but that is the nature of her nature.
Is it a natural eruption cycle, or do we believe there is other forces at work?
That is what many people are worried about. Current information is not allowing a perfect analysis of the situation. In order to deduce something on that level, people would have to, well, get there and do extensive research and see it for themselves and understand what's going on, which not a lot of people are eager to do, as I'm sure you understand.
True, but if that mountain erupts, it will spell disaster for many.
Very many. Yes. But earthquakes are unpredictable. A volcanic eruption is also quite unpredictable. It is hard to say when or how disastrous this could be. All we can do is hope. Fortunately, we cannot prevent such forces of nature.
But if there's a chance it's not just a natural occurrence, I feel someone somewhere should be trying to stop it.
I don't disagree with you there, young one. But I don't know. Can honestly say that I don't know. I'm sure there are people who are studying its every move and have been for a long time. But there's only so much we can do. I can do. If you are growing concerned and do not fear the damage it could cause, making your way up there may be an interesting development, but I would heed that advice.
Well, and I just kind of turn back to the others and I go, if there's a chance we can save thousands from a fiery death. Might be worth a detour on our little trip.
Make a history check, Volstagg.
Am I good at history? Not really. That's gonna be a 6.
Is anyone else proficient in history? You know what? That's okay. Yeah, you know, I'll give that one to you.
I mean, I am 70 odd. Is that old?
Yeah, but you were secluded as a kid.
Fair.
Yeah, I'll let you roll.
Oh.
I'll let you roll
you're
history,
dwarf old.
Alan.
Ah, got it.
14. From your conversation with Lotus, you would understand that the village of Losai is in proximity to Quiverbast. So it would not necessarily be a detour.
Okay.
I mean, you would have to go a little bit past, but you wouldn't have to change course. So do with that what you will.
Yeah.
Plus, if the lives are to be saved by a simple choice, well, lives could be saved by a simple choice, why not make the choice?
Plus, doesn't everybody want to climb an active volcano once in their life?
Oh, it'll be a great thing to tell people another story for the Shadowstar comes back. Oh, so you're experienced. Oh, that'll be useful. Oh.
I believe my quota is 0 as well. You can see as she kind of stands up gingerly. And now, after kind of getting a secondary look at the two of you, she turns to you, Alan. I'm terribly sorry, and maybe this is my old age ignorance leading me to this question, but I feel as if we have met before. Might you be of the Order of Ioun? This was many years ago. Yes, you did come across her. It was brief, but you remember, I think I said this last, or I don't remember when, but
Goddess Ioun.
yes, you did come in contact with a much younger Runaness when you were also much younger and more in your sphere of the devout. Well, the position that I hold is damning. And it is aging unlike any other. It is almost as hard as a leadership position as a king or a queen or a sovereign. But the service to my goddess is everything I hold dear to me. So it may be tasking and daunting, but it is what I love to do. How have you been? A positive outlook indeed. Well, it is good to see you again, / meet you for the first time, / see you again in a very long time, the three of you. It is an odd mix of, yes, I understand that it is very complex, the weave we spin. But I thank you for presenting yourselves and coming in to check on everything. That is quite noble of you. Um, but if there's anything I can do, please let me know. Otherwise, I don't have anything for you at this moment. I'm sorry.
No, it's perfectly fine. Everything you've told us has been very helpful. I'm glad to see the cathedral still standing and the town better off than Snowcaster.
The funny thing about this cathedral is that ever since it was built, every disaster that has run through Taragos, it is always standing. A beacon of hope for those who need it. You understand the weird ways the divine work.
I'm beginning to.
Well, that is good. She gently puts her hand on your back. She's smaller than you, so it kind of lands like, mid-back. She says, "Please allow me to walk you out." So, your next step then is up to the volcano.
I believe so.
Well, I wish you good luck on your travels, and if you need, there are still plenty of shops that are open if you need to buy equipment or rations of the like, and there's plenty of places to stay. So, if you need it, I'm sure you traveled quite a bit to get here. I'm sure sleeping in an actual bed would be nice for once.
Yes, we'll probably stay a night or two and get some supplies while we're here. Question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a potion shop?
A potion seller? What kind of potions? Like healing potions or just all manner?
Kind that make me big.
Kind that make you big.
Oh, you want a Viagra potion?
You want a Viagra potion?
Yes, I want another Viagra potion, yes.
Go ahead and make what's like a check that would be like based on memory recall? Yeah, sure,
Yep.
fuck it. Raw intelligence is good.
Woo! Jesus, I can't roll to save my life today. That's a 9.
You know that
History would also be a 9.
you know that there are, apothecaries similar in make to the Woodvines, but more of those stick to balms and remedies. Healing potions, absolutely. But a potion of that, you'd probably be more likely to find that in some sort of magic shop.
Okay. Is there a magic shop here?
There are plenty.
Okay.
There are some more high-end than others. Snowcaster is a interesting case, as it is one of the only that doesn't particularly have a magic shop, as Ossian Willowgin is a person who doesn't like to have people stepping on his toes.
That's
So,
fair.
every time a magical item shop sets up, it miraculously disappears. So, with that, Tidemaker Runaness begins to lead you out as she pushes open the double doors, and the second you push them open, from behind you, from where you just had came, the two of you, Sakudo, Volstagg, hear a voice boom out, and it echoes, as it is a very big chamber. And you just hear, "Sakudo? Volstagg?" And you turn around, and kind of running as it just boomed through, you see a small hummingbird Aarakocra individual that you remember to be Juniper, cleric of the Wild Mother. And you can see that she runs up to you guys, and it's been so long. You guys look good.
Oh my word, I never expected to bump into you here. Let me leave you over in,
Coastline, yeah.
Coastline? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long time. How have you been?
Well, things have happened. I mean, I'm alive, and I've done a few things.
Well, I'm sure. You, Volstagg, you look good. You're standing a lot taller than I remember.
I feel good. And, I should thank you, because I don't think you knew it then, but you sent me down a path that's been very helpful.
Well, like I said, I don't like to push my faith, but I can see that you took a lot of things I said to heart. She she glances down and sees the Wild Mother pin on your bag still. Weird. Weird how things turn out, huh?
It really is.
Hi, I don't think we've met. My name's Juniper. And kind of holds her hand out to you, Alan. Scald's looking a little different these days.
He did get shorter.
Where is that guy anyway?
We believe he's still in Itaro. They've had a lot of political turmoil in recent months.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually. A while back, what's his name? Someone named Julius Klein rolled into town. He's kind of in hiding. Not hiding per se, but laying low. He kind of got ousted a little bit and feared his safety, so he's kind of just in coastline now.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'd wondered what had happened, as the last time we talked, you said you were going to Ataro, and then just a couple months later, a man from Ataro rolls around. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't expect you guys to still be together. You guys were relatively still fresh and baby-faced when our fates crossed.
Yeah. We've been through some things since then.
I can tell.
We have.
I can see that.
Surprisingly, a basilisk is old news nowadays.
Well, I can tell. I don't mean to be intrusive, but it would seem that, Sakuro, you have a interesting situation there.
Just pull it out. That was due to my own stupidity.
Yeah, well. So I guess you haven't changed that much, you guys.
Nope.
Well, it's good to see you. Are you staying in town?
Yes. I believe we'll probably stay a night or two here just to get our bearings. We plan on making a trip to the Quivervast.
Oh, that's a large task. Why the hell do you want to go up there?
Just to see what's happening.
I'll give it to you. It does seem very interesting. Well, if you're not busy, maybe we can catch up.
Of course, yes.
I can show you around. I've been here for a little bit. Just got into town. Came up to make sure everything was okay. Earthquake hit, and so I found some new means of fast travel. So thought I'd get here pretty quick. Mama's doing great, by the way.
Good to hear.
Ever since she's been thriving. So it's been good. I honestly never thought our paths would cross again, but here we are. So anyway, oh, and she like bows, Tidemaker. You can see that she's one of those worshippers who doesn't really get the norms and the customs, even though she is, well, a higher ranker member on par with where Scald's at. You can see that Tidemaker, Ness. Hello, Juniper. Good to see you, and you're still an eager beaver, it would seem. Well, you know me. Well, I'm gonna show these guys around, and, yeah. So, come on. She goes ahead and she runs out the doors, and as she runs by, you could see her back, and you could see two perfectly intact wings. She goes ahead and she walks out, leads you guys out. So, you're set up where now? Snowcaster?
Snowcaster. Yeah.
What's that like? I heard that place is kind of, well, how do I put it? bougie?
Well, the higher districts are a bit bougie, but we usually stayed around the lower ones, although we do have some friends higher up in the district.
Oh, good for you, getting into high places.
Yeah, got some good connections, certainly get some important tasks, get a lot of money.
You guys sure have made yourselves, known in this world. Back when I first met you, you guys were a bunch of sellswords.
It's very true. We didn't even have a name back then.
You didn't? Do you have one now, finally? I remember I asked you and you told me you'd get back to me.
Well, we've become known as the Lightbreakers.
Has a good ring to it. How long
Not
that
bad.
take?
Oh, a couple of months.
Far too long.
Well, at least I have something to call you now. Huh. You guys really did come together, huh?
Yep.
Just a ragtag little group. Crazy how things go. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
some grand adventures.
I'm eager to hear about them. And I'm eager
Well,
to
the
hear about
stories
how you've met your new pal, Owen, here.
Well, that is in connection to the tongue.
It
Oh.
actually is, yes.
I'm
Yeah.
so eager to hear this.
Oh, so Snowcaster had a little bit of a drug problem. You know, new drug coming about, Rune. It leaves rings under the nose. It was quite a problem. We went investigating, found an underground place that was producing it. We were off our A game and caught slightly off guard and captured, put in cells, and not treated the nicest, and that's why we bumped into this lovely old fellow. And we escaped. I lost most of my tongue, but we escaped and shut down the operation, so we got out alive, achieved our task, minimal casualties. I'd say it's all overall a net positive.
Well, sorry to hear that. But gods really are looking out for you all, since you made it out of that alive, and you definitely have come a long way since a basilisk.
Like I said,
Oh, certainly.
And you've, looks like you've spiffied yourself up a little bit. What's up with the helmet there, Kato?
Oh, this... Ooh, were you there when I could... And I just apparate the knife. I'm not too sure if you were here when I could do this, or it happened right as we were about to go.
Oh, that's seems pretty new to me. I think I'd remembered that.
Oh, well, I've got this nifty old knife. Well, two of them, actually.
Huh.
And a few cool new things to go along with it. I can speak telepathically, which is very helpful.
I thought you were just a
Yes.
guy with knives. I
Oh,
didn't know
well,
you had...
I was just a guy with knives, and now I'm a guy with knives and just a little bit of magic.
Do you still transform into things, Volstagg, or is there any new developments on that front, too?
I still transform into things.
That's good.
Turn into some new things.
You do
Little
have that fancy new sword?
better than a squirrel. I do. And I go ahead and I pull out Clarity.
She immediately, like, gets super close, like, kind of like a kid would, but, like, her head twitches pretty fast due to her hummingbird nature. This looks mighty ineffective.
Well, tell that to your god. And I go ahead and sheath it.
That was very ambiguous of you to say. I don't know what that means, and I don't like it. But anyway. Well, it's good to see you on your feet and actually getting somewhere in the world. I remember you guys saying you just wanted justice and purpose and to make the world a easier place to live, and I just thought, maybe so. But seems like you're actually doing it. I'm
Trying to.
surprised. I'm not surprised in the bad way. I'm just... It's like when you get something on your birthday that you weren't expecting. You're happy about it. Well, there's a really good place to eat downtown if you guys want to go. If you're in the mood for some shopping, I can also take you to the district. It's really whatever you want to do.
I could go for some food, and then yes, I'd like to check out a few shops before we call it a night.
Awesome. Well, keep up. And you watch as she jumps up and her wings super fast in her hummingbird nature. It's almost as if the wings are gone. That's how fast they're moving. And she just begins to coast off further into the city. A little spark of life in her. And she takes you to this nice seaside restaurant. Plenty of things to order in the market of seafood. And it is all delicious. And eventually, as that goes through, she begins to walk you through the shopping district. And as you're walking through, you can see that most of the buildings in this area are relatively standing. Some, though, do seem to be, how do you say, worse for wear. Some completely down, some not. And as you're kind of walking through the district, she's like, okay, so what are you all in the market for? Anything in particular? Are you looking for magical items? Are you looking for potions? Are you looking for standard stuff like rope and bags and tools? Cause tools, ropes, bags, tools, wood. Okay, that's probably general store, so that shouldn't be too hard. So yeah, we could do that. We could also do, and as she's kind of pondering, you're walking through the city, all of you hear a voice off to the side, kind of standing in what seems to be the rubble of a building, but a lot of makeshift stuff, stacked up boxes. You see this kind of slightly fancy-ish dressed individual. You can see there's kind of like a builder's apron and like some leather straps and like a coat. You see this red skin and this kind of curly black hair that kind of drops down to like underneath the ear. And you can see that they're kind of standing in a bunch of boxes and kind of like steps up as you're walking like out from where they're at into the street. It says, oye, mis amigos, are you looking for something maybe a little bit on the finer side? Huh?
What do you have?
Well, I can sense that you are people of adventure. I can sense that you are people who possess quite a bit of magical items, and I can do a fair bit for you, I think. Come here. Let me show you. Goes ahead and does the finger motion and kind of backs up into their little shop, as it is a building that has collapsed and boxes set up and just like a stand, and says, well, like I said, I can sense that you have a plethora of magical items on you, and well, like I always say, you may have what you need, but you may always want more, and I think that I can give you what you want.
Can I do an insight check on this guy?
Sure.
I also do an insight check.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Just...
14.
Drop my dice. 18.
18 and 14?
18, yeah.
Yep.
He's a little out there, but he seems genuine as far as wanting to sell you stuff is concerned. You don't get a bad vibe. Seems a little kooky, but
Well, Koopy's
Feels
got
a
all the
little
good
kooky.
stuff.
so my name is Javier Mesa. I am an artificer, so to speak. I create all sorts of magical items, and I sell, and I buy, and I trade. And welcome to my shop. Well, what used to be my shop. You see the earthquake, it, put me out of business, so to speak, and, maybe that is my fault. When I first built this place, I cut the costs of the architecture, and, I've paid the price for that, so, but rebuilding is in the process, so nothing to worry about, huh? So, like I said, what may you be in the market for, and I can see if I can help you out.
Well, I am searching for a potion of growth.
Potion of growth. While he's thinking, Volstagg, out of the corner of your eye, you sense movement within the boxes. Like they're piled high, and you can see just the shifting, and you hear the sound of metal as something a little bit past him is not rummaging, but something is moving. Potion of growth.
Do you happen to have assistants here in your shop?
Assistants? No, I work alone.
Then who's in the boxes?
Pizza! And goes ahead and rummages off. And you can just hear him screaming and like yelling and saying, I told you not to. When I have customers, I told you not to walk around here, okay? Now, relax. I will be back. It's not a big deal. Okay? Good. Comes back. I'm terribly sorry about that. As I was saying, let me go ahead and see what I have. I will bring out what I think is the best for you, and if I can find a potion of growth, I will give it to you. Okay?
All right.
Goes ahead and rummages back, and you can hear him saying some things again. And goes ahead, and you just see a bunch of rummaging. Comes out and lays down in one fell swoop over the countertop a red velvet little liner and begins to place things on the top. Now, I could not find a potion of growth. I am terribly sorry. But I do have many interesting things that I do think might be helpful. Now, I also accept trades of magical items. Like I said, I sense many of them on you. Some more powerful than others. But keep that in mind if you wish to exchange or trade for in-price monetary value. Now, first things first. This here is, and he places it down, and it appears to be a book. And he says, this is a magical tome that enhances one's wizardry and magical prowess. I sense that there are some magical spellcasters in the midst, so maybe this could be helpful. Now, he goes ahead and pulls out a tiny bead. Almost looks like an oceanic pearl. Places it down. This is what we call a pearl of power. It is an excellent tool for those who also cast spells. It allows you to at least get one more boost out of your magic in a day. Quite useful. Goes ahead, and from behind his back, like almost out of nowhere, he pulls out these pair of goggles. He says, these are the goggles of the night, allowing you to see when you cannot. Goes ahead and places them down. And you watch as, also from like out of nowhere, just out of both of his hands, two separate amulets. This one I believe your friend over there may quite enjoy. This is called an amulet of the devout. Perfect for those who worship, and even better for those who harness the divinity. Places it down. And this one, mis amigos, this one is very good. This is an amulet of proof against poison. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you've eaten something very bad? Your stomach hurts immensely. Or anything else of that matter. This will stop any poison from harming your body. Ever. Last but certainly not least, he goes ahead and from out of nowhere whips up this cloth, places it down. This is a cloak of protection. Commonplace item, I know, but effective nonetheless. So, anything pique your fancy? Anything at all? And as he does that, he places it down. You watch as from the box's Volstagg, out leaps a giant figure. It is a giant metallic feline that pounces onto Javier Mesa. And you watch as he's and you watch as it begins to, with a metal tongue, lick up his face. And you can see that he's Itza, I told you not to bother me while I'm dealing with my customers, okay? Get off of me. Lo siento, mis amigos. This is Itza. This is my companion. I built her myself, and she is a little rambunctious today, apparently. So, my apologies. And you can see that it is a giant metallic jaguar. I'm terribly sorry. It looks as if she is eager to meet new people and has taken an interest in your canine, mister. So, don't worry. She's not harmful. Unless I need her to be. So. Anyway. I did not get your names, by the way.
I'm Volstagg.
Pleasure to meet you, Volstagg. Sakudo. And your canine friend. Itza, play nice, okay? You can see that Itza just kind of like gives a nod and gently makes her way to Quellen. How does Quellen respond to this?
I feel like Quellen would definitely be like nervous and like just sort of hiding behind me, but also incredibly curious.
Okay. You watch as Itza, and this just the metallic movement, the shiny chrome jaguar, just slowly makes her way up to Quellen, and then kind of like leeches downwards, and like jumps up in like a playful manner, trying to get Quellen's attention.
Certainly rambunctious.
She's friendly. Like I said, I built her myself. It is the height of my craftsmanship. But
Well, it is certainly impressive.
thank you, mi amigo. No. Can I interest you in anything that I presented today?
Your pearl. What do you mean by extra oomph?
Well, I take it you are a practitioner of the magical arts, yes?
In a way, yes.
Me too. Me as well. One of these spells I possess, and it is one that I cast to analyze and evaluate my customers, is a spell called Detect Magic. Whenever I do so, I have to expend a bit of my energy to do so. With this in my possession, I can get that back. Once a day, and up to a certain threshold level of power. For out-of-game purposes, it allows you to restore a spell slot. I believe
Any level or
from first to third, I believe.
first to third.
Let me double check that for you, though.
That's pretty good.
And that's once a day.
Yes, it would be once a day, but let me double check. Pearl of Power requires attunement by a spellcaster. While this pearl is on your person, you can use an action to speak its command word and regain one expended spell slot. If the expended spell slot was of 4th level or higher, the new slot is 3rd. Once you use this pearl, it can't be used again till dawn. Yes, so the highest you can regain is a 3rd level. But you can choose to regain a 1st level or a 2nd level. It's very fluid in that way.
Still pretty nice. How much does the pearl go for?
For the ever-illustrious Pearl of Power, I can let it go for you, my friend, for 600 gold pieces. A reasonable price, I would say.
is a bit pricey, though.
It's what you get when you are restoring Arcana. It's a beautiful thing, but it is also an expensive thing.
How about your cloak?
Ah, the cloak. Now, it is a simple enchantment, yes, that is true, but it is always eagerly sought out. It's a bit more pricey. This would be 800 gold pieces.
I'll just approach and peel off my gloves of missile snaring.
Ah, yes, I had sensed there was something going on there.
How much would you say these would go for?
Would you mind if I give a look?
Of course, as long as you give them back.
Of course. Goes ahead and looks at them. They're in pretty fair condition. I would say that they have not seen much use. Is that correct?
Not too much use.
I wonder whose fault that is. Mine.
Well, I mean...
Mine as the DM, John. It's my fault. That I gave you something you so desperately wanted and then never let you use them. They're relatively new. Haven't seen much wear and tear. I could let these go for 250.
I'm gonna roll a persuasion check, see if I can bump that up to 300.
Okay, go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Oh, come on, baby. 17.
I like the way that you present yourself. You know what? You got yourself a deal, mi amigo. 300 gold pieces.
And you said that cloak was around 800? Well, if my maths is not off, which I hope it isn't, that would be around 500 gold, correct?
That would certainly be the case.
Well, I think you might have yourself a deal on that one.
Bueno, perfecto. Alright, here you go, my friend. Goes ahead and keeps the gloves, takes the gold pieces, and slides you over a cloak of protection. So go ahead and you can unattune from your gloves, get them out of your inventory, and then put that in with that. What about you, my friend? Do you think I could interest you in this portal of power or anything else here?
Unfortunately, I think I will have to decline today.
Unfortunate to hear, but I understand. And what about your friend? Do you think that he would be interested in this amulet?
I just kind of turn back to them. He seemed really not interested in your store at all, to be honest.
That is fair. I give off a very confrontational presence, so I understand. But if you're interested, it does run for 600 gold pieces. So if they decide they would like it, they can always come back.
We'll let them know.
Bueno. Well, my friends, it was a pleasure to meet you, and I hope our paths do cross again. But if that is all, then I say goodbye to you.
Have a pleasant evening.
You as well. Goes ahead and snaps. Itza! Let them go. Goes ahead and goes back. So, you go on off your ways. Is there anything else you wish to buy? Anything in particular you were looking for? Okay. So for blocks of wood, I would say, how many blocks do you want? Okay. Okay. I would say that's easy enough. You can get 2 blocks for 2 gold. Super easy. Let's go with mahogany. Because I like that. I like mahogany. So you go ahead and you get that. And as you're walking, you can see Juniper. It's kind of like, that was a strange encounter.
Certainly. Although, you seem to have some very nice items.
You really did.
I don't think so. They did happen to have an amulet you may be interested in. The amulet of divinity, right?
Devout. Something to
Devout.
do with divinity.
Yeah. So I told them we would let you know. But yeah, amulets of the devout. I'm not sure if you've heard of such a thing.
The read I got wasn't too bad. It's fair. Well,
I'd like to entertain some things, but Sakato got a nice cloak, it seemed.
I did. I feel safer already.
wise words. Well, like I said, I don't know. He's one of... There's a lot of strange characters here, but I've seen stranger. And from what I understood, it didn't seem too bad. And I don't think he got scammed, by the way, Sakato. So he should be fine.
Oh well, if I did get scammed, he was very good at doing it.
It's true. I liked his little pet, or companion.
It was very
Yes.
cool.
It was cool. Do you really think he made it himself?
Well... If he didn't, he certainly knew a good place to find one.
That's a good point. Well, is there anything else you guys want? To buy or anything?
I don't think so.
Well, I know a good place to stay. If you guys are staying in town.
Yeah, I believe we'll at least stay this night.
Okay. Yeah, it's this really nice place. It's called Ocean's Reach. It's pretty nice. Better than any of the inns in Coastline. I'll say that much. So, yeah. Okay. It's this way. Kind of leads you in. And it is a quaint yet nice little tavern / inn. You walk in and there's a long wooden bar, bunch of alcohol on the shelves, a couple of center tables and some side booths, and then there's the upstairs, which is where all the rooms are. And you can see that there is what appears to be a half-orc female currently standing at the bar. And as you walk in, she gives a look and she says, "Hi, welcome. What can I do for y'all?"
We just would like a couple rooms for the evening.
Rooms are at how many?
Do we want to double up our own rooms?
I mean, I'm fine with doubling up.
I don't mind.
2 should suffice.
All right, sounds good. Here you go. That'll be slides over the keys. That'll be 5 gold for the 2.
All right. Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right, here are your keys. Your rooms 4 and 5, respectively. And if you need a drink, something to eat, let me know. Yeah.
Well,
What do
who's
y'all
going
wish to
what
do
room?
now?
All right.
Up
I
to
mean,
you.
why not?
I'm cool with whatever.
I'll bunk
That's it.
down.
All right.
Ooh.
Summer body while I'm attuning.
Ooh. So, on that note, is there anything that you wish to do in this night?
Definitely would like to attune to my new lovely cloak.
Easy enough. You go ahead and you sit down, you meditate, and after an hour, it does connect to you.
Lovely.
So you do have that now.
Oh, that is nice. A +1 on all saving throws.
So, is there anything roleplay wise you guys would wish to do, or continue on to the next day?
No, I'm good with continuing on.
I'm good as well.
Okay. Easy enough. I would say you don't need to roll. Okay. Easy enough. You all go ahead and you get your rest. You wake up the next morning. Meet yourselves downstairs for breakfast. And what is on the agenda? What is there to do? Okay. Just gently place it. Make your way downstairs to the rest of the group. So, what's next?
Well, I know I have enough supplies to take a little trip up a mountain. Might be smart to hit up a apothecary or somewhere just to get a couple small healing potions.
I mean, I'm looking a bit short on cash at the moment.
I am not.
That's gonna be...
Humble brag.
Well, I did just buy a very nice cloak, so... it's to be expected. Yeah, apothecary sounds good.
Yeah, I know where there is one. It's it's weirdly by that guy again, but it's fine. So, alright, come on. Goes ahead, leads you down the path, and eventually you make your way to this kind of like outdoor tent situation. You can see that there is a younger gentleman, appears to be in his either really late teens or early 20s, and is kind of standing there. You can see he has goggles on, and there's a bunch of like test tubes and different stuff going about. Looks up at you. Yes, how can I help you?
I was just looking for a couple potions of healing.
Potions of healing. Yes, I have plenty. How many do you need?
2 should be fine.
2? That'll be 100 gold.
All right. Yeah, just pay him 100 gold.
Okay, and here you go. Slides him over.
Thank you very much.
Of course. If you need anything else, let me know.
Will do.
He goes back to his practices. And Volstagg, with your passive perception, you do see out of the corner of your eye, Javier Mesa is currently over in his little area, doing his own thing. He doesn't look like he's paying a lot of mind to you all in particular. But you can see that every so often he'll try to get some people's attention, and they just keep walking, and then he'll just go back, and then he'll go back to get somebody's attention, and then go back. So, you get your potions. Is there anything else anybody would like to do?
Not much I would like to do.
Yeah.
I have rope and pythons as well.
Ew.
I believe it's 2 rations for a gold. So, however, so 5 gold for 10 rations.
Yeah, I'll grab 10 rations.
Alright. Anything else you wish to do?
So, are we going to be in Loci before we go to Quivervast, or are we going straight to Quivervast? It's more a question to the general group.
True.
Right. Which I like that, because then we can drop the cart off and the horses, so we're not taking, 2 horses and a cart and stuff up an active volcano.
Let's go. And you see Juniper, as you guys are kind of talking about this. You guys are serious about this. You're actually going to go up to an active volcano?
Not many can
Honestly, I think we've done stupider things.
That is true, we have done very stupid things, me in particular.
Well, bought that cloak off that guy.
Right, well, that wasn't necessarily a stupid thing.
Well, but a questionable decision, to say the very least.
Yeah, make many.
No, I'm just joking. Well, I wish I could say I would be joining you, but I don't think I will. Respectfully.
I didn't expect you to come.
And also trying to do good in my own way. Learn a little bit more about the Wild Mother while I can, and do the thing that clericy people do. But it was good to see you. Truly.
Pleasure.
Yeah. Didn't know how much I missed those old days that were quite literally just a couple of days. But I am still thankful for saving my life, and my wing is thankful. Yeah. Anything I can do for you? Anything I could do to help in any way besides going with you? Because, no offense.
Just continue being you.
Easier said than done. Well, it was good to see you, both of you, and it was good to meet you, Alan. Please don't die.
We'll try not to.
Like I said, probably easier said than done.
Especially when you're climbing an active volcano.
Well, take it easy, as much as you can. They already did, but I'm sure our paths will cross again. If you ever need me, let me know. I have ways of contacting you as well, so don't be a stranger. Take care of yourselves. Each other.
You as well.
Safe. Goes ahead and begins to make her way back up towards the Tide Hall Cathedral. And eventually passes out of sight. And so, continuing onward to Loci, then.
Yes.
Okay, so Loci, if I'm looking at my map correctly, is right about the same amount of time from Snowcaster to Tarago. So you're looking at another 2-week journey.
Okay.
This will technically be new terrain for all of you, as the furthest you guys have ever gone is to the Kilmark Heights and never past it. So this will be interesting territory for everybody. So, with that, Full Stag, I believe you would be leading the charge then.
Sure.
Go ahead for the first week, make a survival check.
Right, that is going to be a 14.
14. Okay. So, for the first week, sorry, I'm just trying to count. So, speaking of which, we have entered into Brahalir next month, and officially for sure, because of obviously how the time works, the Lightbreakers have been together for a year. As at this moment in time, you are a little over a week away from the Liberation Festival in Ataro, or when shit hit the fan for you guys, at least in terms of your adventures together. So on your travels, there's definitely, for at least the two of you, that that recognition and realization that you know, you've been together for quite some time. So, and that does cross your mind. If at any point you guys wish to discuss or have a moment of that, that is up to you. I leave that in your hands. But otherwise, we can continue forward into the travels.
Yeah, I don't know. I just say continue forward.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get some stuff. Okay. So, with that, okay. Can I get Volstagg to make another survival check?
Hey, that's a good roll. That's gonna be a 27.
7. Damn. Yeah. Easy enough. Despite the topography getting a little bit more rocky and dry and less grassy as you continue forward, it's out of your element, but you still manage to maintain a decent foothold on what you're doing, and your connection to nature and your newfound connection to the Wild Mother has definitely helped you in this regard, as it doesn't matter what terrain it is, because the world is your terrain. So easy to travel through. And eventually, after the grueling week of travel, you eventually begin to make your way into this rough, rocky terrain ground. It's hot, and whilst you're not really that close in proximity, and now that you've made it this far, you can see the towering Quivervast volcano in the distance. And whilst you are not directly up against its base, you begin to see a village. And you begin to get closer and closer, and the surrounding area it's very hot this time of the year in particular. This far up north is immaculate. And you get up and the heat begins to increase and increase and increase to a point where it's a bit unusual. The heat that is emanating off of this area. And Volstagg, immediately, just with your passive perception, this area, as you begin to approach, it smells awfully, for lack of a better term, gross. I need you to make a perception check.
12.
12. It smells like sulfur. as you look around and you can see where there would have been streams of water are just ruts, dried up. And what water does remain, kind of look over, you don't even have to get that close. The water itself is completely filled with sulfur. It's been tarnished. And as you get closer, you know how when something is so hot, you can see the waves of heat? Like, that's what you've been seeing this whole time. And as you get closer to the city, those waves of heat that you thought was just the heat in the air is flame. There's flame and steam erupting from within this relatively large village that spans multiple miles. It's not clustered together. It's very large distances between, like a countryside where homes are very far apart. And as you approach, you begin to see those hot steam rising, flames poking, and you can see that in the ground here, there are cracks. The cracked earth gives off a very faint glow. You can see deeper that there are cracks that have opened so wide that you can see visible lava. And you can see as you walk into the city, you're looking around. You don't hear or see people. But there are partially burned down houses, some that look to have fallen over due to an earthquake. And these large pools of surface lava that is bubbling, boiling. Little crevices pop and little bits of the flame kind of scatter onto buildings and then kind of burn out. You look around and you can see trees that have withered away due to flame. All their moisture had been sapped out of them, and you break off a piece, and it basically crumbles into dust. Wolstag, make a nature check, but I'll let you use your wisdom instead.
With wisdom, that's a 19.
You get down onto the ground, and you just touch the cracked, dried earth. The life has been sapped out of it. And it is... what is left is this sulfurous residue, toxic smell, the gas vapors from the lava pools. This land has been tarnished. It has been corrupted. And as you look up, you can see there is a radius protruding from the volcano. You can see the visible corruption emanating from outward. And as you're looking at that, what's everybody's passive perception?
20.
Sakato and Volstagg. As you're just looking around, Volstagg, you feel it as you're touching the ground. Sakato, you can hear it. The bubbling of the lava gets progressively more tumultuous. It begins to rumble. And you watch as just these small eruptions come outward. A couple more. Then a little bigger one upwards. But instead of going up and coming down, it protrudes upwards. And then a hand. And then another. And you watch as these giant emulations of flame and magma and lava begin to rise from underneath the surface. And that's where we'll get that next.
What?
So yeah, we'll get to that next time, as we'll see what interesting things y'all are gonna get into next time.
This cloak better sink my ass.
It's about to
We
get
fucking
real.
lava.
Why do you think I just set you up with a magic item shop? Real quick, right then and there. You guys said, let's go to an active volcano. And I said, okay, here's some magic items. Have fun.
Ooh.
So we'll see how that goes next time.
Plus one to AC might be very nice.
That's true.
Yeah, but not
It's
even
true.
them. We're already fighting lava.
So,
Yeah.
with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for being here. We hope you guys enjoyed. We're happy to be doing this more consistently now, which is fantastic. So go ahead. Everybody's links down below. Check them out. And we hope you guys are staying safe out there. Love you guys. Enjoy your squirt sticks. We'll see you guys.